Greetings, learners. My name is Mr. Simbi. Indeed, it is accounting. In today's class, I'm going to be talking about bad debts and bad debts recovered. And with me here, I have an exciting question. Make sure you have a paper, you have a pen and a calculator so that we can start doing some calculations. Let us begin. It reads, information, extract from the pre-adjustment trial balance on 28 February. I have debtors control, I have bank, and I have bad debts. Adjustments. A debtor M. Maseko was declared insolvent. The moment a debtor is declared insolvent, that means they cannot pay anymore. All right? Then we received 40 cents in the rand from his estate. That means from whatever they were owing, they have paid us 40 cents in the rand, 40 cents in the rand. All right? And then his outstanding debt was 2,600. So the full debt was 2,600. And they have paid us 40 cents in the rand. The balance must be written off as irrecoverable. So 40 cents is what has been paid, what they've paid us. And then the difference now becomes 60 cents. And they're saying 60 cents must be written off as irrecoverable. Irrecoverable simply means this is a bad debt. 60 cents is a bad debt. No entries have been made. Let us see. Before we can go any further, it is important for us to do some calculations. Let us get the 40 cents. Let us also get the 60 cents. If I want to get the 40 cents, I will now say, for me to get the 40 cents, what I want is 40, what I have is 100, multiplied by 2,600. Therefore, the 40 cents, which is what I have received, becomes 1,040. Very important that you get this amount. Then the one that will be written off as irrecoverable, that is my bad debt in this case. What I want is 60, what I have is 100, multiplied by 2,600. And then I will get 1,560. You could have got this amount by simply getting the difference between these two. Simple. Okay? There is another quicker way. When I have these amounts, I now want to know, how can I record? How can I record? Here I'm given my debtors control. Remember, debtors control is an asset plus, and here is a minus. And I am told that my balance is 100,000. That is my opening balance. And then the amount received, we have received 40 cents. And the 40 cents is the 1,040. So I'll come here, bank, definitely this is CRJ, and I get my 1,040. This is what we have received, 1,040. And we also have now bad debts, And bad debts, this is what we cannot recover, irrecoverable. And the bad debts, remember, we have calculated it to be 1,560. So I'll come here, it's 1,560. That therefore becomes my bad debts. All right. Once you are done with your debtors control account, it is then important that you know how to post to the bad debts as well as the bank account, because remember here we have bank and bad debts. So our balances, remember, for the bank it's 18,000 and bad debts it's 800. Let us go. Our bad debts had a total brought forward, if you remember, it was 800. So my total brought forward was 800. And for my bank, the balance brought down was 18,000. There it is. I would therefore now bring these amounts. Bank, remember, we credited debtors control with bank 1,040. So I'll come to my bank, then I'll say 1,040. And we credited debtors control with bad debts 1,560. So also come here 1,560. Very important that you get to understand that double entry principle is very, very important. There it is. How then does this affect the accounting equation? Let us see. On the accounting equation, remember we had two amounts. The first one was my bad debts, and my bad debts was 1,560. We calculated it. And we also had the bank amount that we received, which is the 40 cents in the rand. And that amount was 1,040. We want to record these here. I'll start off with my bank. We received 1,040, so account debit is bank. When we receive money, account debit is bank. Once I debit bank, I'm coming to my assets and I'm saying plus 1,040. And the account credit is your debtors control. Your debtors control. And remember, debtors control is an asset. And once you credit an asset, you are decreasing it. So I'm coming again to the assets and I'm saying minus 1,040. My owner's equity is 0 and my liabilities are 0. Let's come to the second one. When we wrote off the 60 cents in the rand, that is the bad debt. So account debit is bad debt because this is an expense. So bad debt, an expense that will affect my owner's equity, minus 1,560. And the account to credit, therefore, is debtors control. Debtors control. And debtors control is an asset, so I'll come here and say minus 1,560. This does not affect my liabilities. Bad debts recovered. It says information extracted, and my debtors control is 220,000. I have bank of 180, and bad debts is 7,600. An amount of 2,500 was received from Y Baba, a debtor whose debt had previously been written off. The transaction has not yet been recorded. So in my bank account, remember, an asset. So on the debit side, it is a plus. I'm going to come in and I'm going to say balance brought down. And my balance is 180,000. 180,000. That is the balance on the bank. And then we are then told that 2,500 was received from Y Baba, a debtor whose account was previously written off. That means I'll come here and I'm going to have now bad debts recovered. Here's my bad debts recovered. And my bad debts recovered, remember, I've received the amount. All right? So I'm going to be CRJ. And the amount I've received is 2,500. I should then be able to record this 2,500 in my bad debts recovered, which is an income account. So I'll come here. So I'm coming here to say bank, and then the amount is 2,500. That is how I will record my bad debts recovered, as you can see over here. How then will this transaction affect the accounting equation? When I come to my accounting equation, I'm now saying the amount of 2.5 was received. If the amount is received, the account to debit is bank. And the moment I debit bank, it affects my assets. So I'll come and say on my assets, it's going to be plus 2,500. And the account to credit is bad debts recovered. Bad debts recovered. Bad debts recovered is income. So I'll come to my owner's equity plus 2,500, and this has no effect on my liabilities. Dear learners, we will now go for an ad break, and I will see you shortly.